When I first received the brief, the first thing that I did was research the designer a lot. We were provided with a mood board that had a lot of influence for the line, and also lots of 6 to 8 words that described what the line itself represented. So what I kind of did was took those words and went into my research period. In the research period, I found that the line was extremely 60s influence. That was one of the words that was used. And the thing was, though, was how 60s influenced was it when it came to the hair itself. So I did notice that the line itself, extremely 60s influence, silhouette 60s, pattern 60s, from the floral to the hard straps to the softness and all of that. So I realized the clothes being, you know, as bold as they were, I wanted to create something that was a little bit softer, that reflected the line itself, that didn't overdo it, because I just felt like seeing a girl walking down the catwalk with those clothes on, you know, being as bold as they are, having a bold hairstyle would just overpower it, and it would just be too much, and it would take away from the femininity and some of the beautiful lines of the design itself and the clothing. So what I came up with for my looks was something that a woman would be able to do herself, and I wanted it really to come across as, yeah, there was a 60s twist to it, but it was not over the top. Like, you would see maybe the silhouette from the profile would be 60s, maybe from the front or to the parting would be 60s, but the entire look overall wouldn't scream it, because like I said before, the clothing was more bold that way. So for one of my looks, I did decide to do, with the 60s influence, have a very deep side part that kind of swept over her face. And I thought having that look, running with one of the words that was used to describe Ungaro's line was sex. And I thought, okay, let's do something that drapes across her face, that's kind of like hidden but there at the same time. And then I had it, you know, the back combing, again, modern as well, but a little bit 60s influence, come to the side, and then braced with bondage tape, again to reflect back to the line of being a little bit more sexy, a little bit more devilish that way, to kind of touch on that, just to add that little bit of, you know, that little kiss of sex to it, but also being extremely feminine and not yelling it, because there can be a time when it can just be too much sex, it's too tacky. You want it to still be, or I wanted it to still be feminine and pretty, like how the line is as well. And then for one of the other looks, I decided to pull her hair back, again having it soft and kind of ruffly. I didn't want it to be slick, because again I want it to reflect the woman that's behind it, so playful and sexy but childish at the same time, and kept but unkept. So in that look, I decided to take her hair back into a low ponytail, but to make it a little bit more interesting, I knotted the back, and then again braced it with a bondage tape, again to add that little bit of like sexual suggestion to the look. Again, for an average woman, I think that would be a fun look to create herself at home, because you can easily do it. You just have to do the middle part. You can middle part it, you can side part it, wherever it is, they can recreate that look. They don't have to change much about their own style in order to do the look. So, you know, take their hair back and then part it down the middle through the back and just separate it, and then tie a knot like you would on your shoelace, and then take it down and secure it with, it doesn't have to be a bondage tape, obviously. It could be anything you want. It could be, you know, a statement piece for your hair. It could be, you know, anything that's in for that season, whether it be more of a brooch type of look with more glitter for the holiday season, or maybe in the summer you just secure it with an elastic that's clear and wrap some hair around it, something very simple. Yeah, and that's basically what led me to my look, and as you can see, it's easy to create at home. It's not something that is daunting. It took 15 to 20 minutes, so it's very ideal for a catwalk look when you have girls coming from shows that it's going to take you maybe even 2 minutes to do their hair. It's totally plausible, especially you want the texture of the hair to be a little bit more rough. You don't want it necessarily to be super sleek. You're going to want to get some texture in it, get some human in there, get some life in there in order to be able to secure it the way you want to and finish it the way you want to. Yeah, thank you.